All right, so I do have a video response or no, a review of watching the first episode of Kenya Barris' new show, Black AF, which was formerly known as um, Black Excellence, but black folks got in their feelings on Twitter, and he changed the name. I don't know why. Leave that there for a moment. That's his family right there, because we're gonna make some points here. Okay, the sun is a little bit darker than everybody else, the little boy at the bottom. But anyways, I'm looking at who's the chick? One of the chicks on YouTube, Yanni, is her name. Real Talk with Yanni, whatever. Looking at the comment section for her commentary on a situation, and I'm reading the comments from a lot of the women, and they just not making any sense. But one thing is weird is like Yanni's making an argument about the colorism thing and the erasure thing, and I don't see how it applies to this situation. No, I'll say it many times. No, I don't co-sign the replacing black people with mixed people, men or women. You know, I'm not in my feelings enough. Like, remember when we found out that Will Smith is going to play Serena Venus's father in the movie, and we're like, no, this doesn't make any sense. And then black women are like, nah, it's their issue. We shouldn't talk. And I'm like, okay, it's cool until they cast Tia and Tamerica as Senorita and Venus. I don't think they're going to do that. But I'm saying, like, they will bite off their nose to spite their face. Whereas at the end of the day, I don't like that, period. I don't think that you should do that. If you want to go with the mixed race character, just go with the mixed race person. And I was early on pointing it out and calling this out, that instead of the whole erasure thing that people are complaining about online, is I said that when it was your girl Meghan Markle, when she was on Suits, and they kind of like threw in there like just, it was awkward the way they did it, but they're like, yeah, I didn't get this tan out of nowhere, when she acknowledged her being biracial. We already knew who her father was, the fat dude from The Wire, who's down in New Orleans, who just got in trouble recently. But like, so they did that storyline, and I noticed it with Zendaya and Spider-Man, and then the Carmichael show, they did it with her, the Gerard's love interest on the show. So instead of replacing the black woman with the biracial woman, or in the erasure thing, they said, you know what, we're just gonna go with that storyline. And we've seen more of that, and I didn't understand Yanni's her point of view of why Lil Jones take the role for the show. And I'm like, well, she's not casted as a black woman, she's cast as a mixed race woman. But anyways, so yeah, I've been early on saying that they're not gonna need to just replace the black woman or erase you. They're just gonna have storylines where the girl is biracial, and they're just gonna run with that. There's even shows where like like the actress in real life, people don't know because they didn't look her up or anything like that. But the one chick from the TV show Mistresses, the black girl on the show, she's actually biracial as well. And they show her mom, which was obviously always Lyndon Woodfield on these TV shows. And like they can later at some other date come back and make a white father and put that in the storyline. So I'm saying like that's a thing. And you've seen Kenya Barris, so it's like I don't see when Tracy Ellis Ross or Quincy Jones' daughter, they're getting these roles playing biracial women, or that's not an erasure thing. Like you can't. It's like they're making this argument about something that it's not. The reality of it is that this dude, I mean, he's a one-drop ruler. I can. There's no denying that. And I picked this a long time ago. I should have did the video about it. Well, it would have been on my other channel anyways. But he did an interview with NPR, and in the interview he said, like, he goes, "Oh, Obama's black," but in the same breath he was talking about his wife and his family, and he goes, "My wife is mixed." I'm like, well, wait a minute, why is Obama black but your wife is mixed? Like, that didn't make any sense. Like, oh, okay, I see what you just did there. But anyways, yes, he's a one-drop ruler. So, which a lot of black people are in black community. So this idea that, you know, we want to get offended or feel some type of way about the mixed race people being in black, I get it. But as long as black American people, ADOS, subscribe to that rule, this isn't going anywhere. Are there more voices and more people, particularly women online, saying like, no, I've been saying it from day one, I've never viewed mixed people as black. They are mixed, they're something else. They got their own plight and issues and things that I can't relate to, and vice versa. But I don't think that argument of all of that can be placed here. This is a black man who is building, right? He has 4 TV shows, and I can't knock his hustle. I cannot, this man took his show, made a show and then 2 spinoffs off of one show. And then ABC tried to, like, you know, they tried to put him back in his place. It's like, yo, you can't do the Kaepernick episode, which I probably wouldn't like anyways, because I don't like his politics. He's way too liberal for me. But, you know, they tried to silence him or muzzle him, which it makes sense, because I said this in my review of the show too, that, you know, ABC has deals with, owns ESPN, and they have deals with the NFL, and that Kaepernick thing would have been a conflict of interest. So they shelved his episode, and clearly him and ABC broke parted ways on that. But then he took his same show, Blackish, and remixed it and did it again, the exact same show, only with him acting and a whole bunch of new octoroons, mixed-looking kids, and a white woman passing mixed-race wife. But as much as I don't co-sign the one drop ruling stuff, and I don't think we should be picking act roles that are meant for black women and giving them to biracial chicks, I still can't knock his hustle. I still think this is a man who is promoting what he wants to see, which I think men do. Like, at this point, this man has 4 shows. Like, he's not changing. He's not affected by the cancel culture. He's not offended or affected by, you know, people attacking him, saying he's a colorist and this and that, even though he's not the darkest of guys. Not like Anthony Anderson, who plays him on the show Blackish, and him are pretty light brown skinned black men. So it's not no dark skinned people, period, on the show. Not let alone black women being casted. To me, it's like you can't make the colorist argument. Like, I saw one of the comments in Yanni's section is he's not promoting himself. He's just obsessed with colorist people. I mean, obsessed with light skinned people. And I'm like, how can a man who's promoting what he's married to and what he created be like? How can he be obsessed? Like, that's his worldview. That's what he looks at every morning when he wakes up and goes downstairs. When he writes and builds all the wealth and then writing all these shows to spend for their colleges and their future weddings. That's who he's doing it for. So how can he be obsessed with using his own family to create his art, which is making him a millionaire? Like, I don't get that. When a white boy uses his platform to promote his woman, whether it's Mao Ling or Becky, and gives it 20 different shows with the same imagery, he's not considered obsessed. We're told he's doing what he's supposed to do. So I'm trying to figure out, why is it when a white dude does exactly what Kenya Barris is doing, all of a sudden now he's obsessed and he's a colorist and he's this and he's that. Like, no, he's promoting what he's supposed to promote. The problem is, and it's not that black men who like or who want to have imagery of dark-skinned black people in their content. It's one, y'all don't promote it and y'all don't share it and y'all don't y'all complain more about the content that you don't want to see than the content that you do, right? I know Chicago, the Shy is a drama. Lena Waithe is a lesbian, and she actually has on her show some great depiction of dark-skinned, beautiful people. She has the sister, one of the main character, the boy, his sister, very attractive young dark-skinned girl. I haven't heard one video from any of the colorist chicks crying about light-skinned chicks all day. Although it's confusing because she's now currently promoting IR relationships to create more light-skinned bitches that she already feels inferior to. I don't get that. I don't know what that's all about. But anyways, she's celebrating the mixed girl promotion thing, that the little dance thing that everybody does on TikTok. That's getting kind of annoying. But yeah, like, I don't understand, like, how you can knock him for that, right? Like, he's doing what y'all claim black men don't do. It's the problem is he's not doing it for you. He's doing it for what he's supposed to do for, which is his family and his content. And people are saying, like, well, don't name it that. And I'm like, if he didn't name it that, y'all still would be in your feelings, right? And I don't think when he says it's black SF, I don't think he's talking about genetically, even though he's a one-drop ruler. I think he means culturally, his family. He's depicting, like, I can't relate to his family. I can't relate to the family that he had on Blackish. Those are kids who grew up in the burbs, who grew up wealthy, who have an identity issue or identity crisis. You remember Kristen Karazine? She put her daughter on tape, and the daughter was talking about she don't like black boys, and they remind her of Lil Wayne, and she's whitewashed. Those were her words. Well, that's exactly what happens when you swirl and when you are in a different situation. Now think about this. Kristen Karazine won't get any of the smoke that Kenya Barris is doing, and she not only promotes what he's doing for black women, but she also lives it, and she has a child who on video, which was stupid for her to do, stated that she is whitewashed, right? Like, she's in, as Sarge often says, it's another man's patriarchy. Remember, she was in her yard twirling around the park like, hey, white daddy gave me all this beautiful stuff, right? So how can y'all support her but be in your feelings about him doing the exact same thing? Like, she's promoting for black women to get that via swirling with other races of men. He's a black man who has that and can offer that, and he's doing it for his own family. That's the connection I'm not making. I'm not understanding. I understand it. Y'all just hating, right? It's not that deep. I know it's women. I'm just being rhetorical. But it's just, I'm calling out the fuckery and the bullshit within it. He is doing what he's supposed to do as a black man. As a man in general, right? He's promoting, protecting, providing all those things that y'all claim that black men are broken, dusty, don't do. Well, you have one who's doing those things, but instead of being quiet and being like, tip your hat, like, good job, despite not liking, I don't like the man's I'm not gonna say I don't like his content. I don't like his politics, and I'm not like it. And because he infuses his stuff, his overly liberal stuff into his show, I think there's three things that I see in a lot of black content, a lot of black comedies rather, is that, black people are homophobic, so we have to attack us on that. And black people are too stupid to own guns, so we gotta do some stupid ass gun control episode. And another one I forgot, but those are the two I mainly. And verbatimly, the Carmichael Show, Blackish, they all covered those same topics, promoting the same dumbass narrative of we can't get guns out of here, and being Republican and shitting on black Republicans and stuff like that. So they've all done that. So that's just like, I don't like any of that about his work, but I still can tip my hat and be like, yo, this motherfucker got 4 shows, and 2 of them are the exact same. And despite whether we like it or not, like, white boys make a lot of trash content and still have success based off one show. Like, that's how it works in Hollywood. And there's one thing that's weird too, because a lot of people on Yanny's page are saying like there were no black writers in that room. But let's be honest, when Family Reunion, which I've done a review about, and I still voice my opinion that I don't like the fact that they are. See, the argument they're making for this show about him, and they're only doing it because he's a black man, but the TV show Family Reunion on Netflix also, that's a room full of black writers. Black men, 2 black men and 2 black women are writers on that show. And they're still trying to reinforce the blackness of this girl who can damn near pass. Her kids this girl on Family Reunion looks way whiter than any of Sasha Barris' Miss looking kids. And yet they're reinforcing and doubling down her blackness with black writers on the show. Whereas he has no black writers, and they're just depicting a bunch of octoroons, mixed looking kids. I'm joking. Don't get in your feelings, light skinned people. But yeah. But that's just my quick thoughts. I have done a review about it, the show. I was rambling on and whatnot, and I probably, because I reached out to a young lady who watches a lot of TV, and she's trying to pop off her YouTube channel too, and we're just gonna kind of like promote each other and help each other out. Depends on if she ever wants to do the video or not. I might not upload mine and just upload the one the one we did, because I'll just reiterate some of the same stuff. But yeah, like, make that make sense. Why? When Sasha Barris, or why am I saying that? Kenya Barris, why is when he is building and creating and doing the right things that, is looked at in a negative light, when Crystal Carazine is doing exactly the same thing and promoting the exact same thing, and she has a bunch of followers and a bunch of subscribers, and I don't understand how the colorism people can complain and cry about him, but then also network and work with Crystal and Carazine. Like, how does that even make any sense? Right? But it's just like the fact that they don't comprehend. Men promote what they want to see. That's just my worldview now. When you see all these skits and people, the black dude with all the same trope of dark-skinned black man, light-skinned female, which even is done in white content too, the whole hard, dark, and handsome, and the Becky be pale, or with red hair or something like that. That whole thing is a thing. And even when black women are in the position, in the writer's chair, and the producer's chair, and casting their coaches and picker people, they doing the same stuff, because why aren't the black women, if there's a market for this as much as we say it is, why is anybody doing it? And one thing that bothers me too, and I should have did a video about this, if I did, it would have been on my other channel too, but there was a brother who did a song, and I didn't like the way Sway addressed him. Like, I thought that was some bitch ass shit the way Sway did. But on the other hand, Sway was kind of probably telling the truth, like, yo, you tried to focus on black women, and we've seen all the tweets and Twitter and all the people who, whenever a black man shouts out black women, all the white people, all lives matter to conversation, and it's annoying. But to a point, as much as I thought what Sway did was some bitch ass shit, he should have did it off camera. I understood what he was saying, but my problem with that was this dude did a song, and he made a reach, and he was trying to promote dark skinned black women, all his music and his songs, and they didn't support it. I didn't see one video from any of the women, the darkisms, the colorisms, the women who complain. I didn't see any of them promote this guy. Like, they should have made his video, even though it was low budget and trash, they should have made him pop off because he was taking a risk. They should have did it to spite Sway and what he was doing. I might just do a video about that topic, but I'm just saying, my point is like, again, they're not promoting the stuff that they claim they want to see. They're not supporting the content that they claim they want to see. They're only crying and bitching about stuff that they don't want to see. And this dude, I gotta give him credit for the fact that he just don't care. He's like, yo, I ain't about to cast a bunch of, I'm not gonna have a lottery of complexions to put in my content when this don't even look like my family. I'm not gonna just throw some dark skinned people in it just because. I'm creating an image of me. Like, that's what men do when they build. That's what white men do. That's why sisters feel inferior, right? Because the imagery of white women is everywhere plastered and they're the standard of beauty and whatnot. Well, when men get in a position, they're going to promote their family. They're going to promote what they produce. They're going to promote what they're married to. When Kanye made that casting call for the models, which he has done a lot for darker skinned black women, so we can't even ignore that. But even in that situation, if that's what he was doing, how can you knock that when that's what he's married to and that's what he produces? Like, that's the part I'm trying to get sisters to acknowledge. You say men are broken, destiny don't build, but when they do and it's not for you, you find a way to still be in your feelings. I'm out.